Good Wednesday morning to you. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Marchich. This is your outlook for February 26th, 2014. And we're starting off with the future simulated radar again for this morning. And we're going to have some light snow showers, generally in the same areas that we had yesterday. And they might be a little bit more potent this time as they move through, especially for areas down towards the Philadelphia metro, basically from an area from Lancaster on eastward into southern New Jersey. And this area here will be in and out of here pretty quickly. We have probably 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning across this area right here where I'm circling, maybe more like 10 or 11 across Philadelphia, and ending about noon or so as we get into South Jersey. And that'll be in and out of here, but generally very light accumulations, not expecting too much in the way of accumulation of this. Here's the GFS for that same time frame, and you can see just very light snow concentrated across this area right here. And the next frame here actually gets some snow showers over much of New Jersey at this point as well. So we do think there are going to be snow showers, not expecting a whole lot of accumulations. Our weather alert maps remains the same, no change in this, just snow showers up in this area here. And we think the accumulations are going to be held down to this area here, where according to as much as 2 inches of snow can fall. And we think according to an inch up in these areas here, further to the northwest. So not looking at too much in the way of accumulations here, but given the timing that is coming in, we could be dealing with some disrupted travel for your rush hour in the morning. Going to move over to national temperatures here. Now this is a different perspective that we really don't take a look at too often here, but just wanted to show you something here that that is the reason that we're looking for a fuel of big storms in March. One of the reasons why you have such big storms generally is because you have so much cold air, and you have very, very cold air sitting up in this region right here. This of course extends further than that, but I just want to just show you the gradient. Very cold air there. These temperatures down here are in the 50s and 60s, and they're in very close proximity to each other. So you have a very tight temperature gradient between the two, and every time you have a very tight temperature gradient like this, you're going to have increased fuel for some bigger storms. And so that's what we're going to be looking at this week. Going to be a polar vortex that is going to be sitting up near Hudson Bay, that is going to be basically entrenched in and sitting there for a couple days. It's going to keep the cold air locked for the northern areas, and at the same time, while this is keeping the cold air diving pretty far south in this area here like this, you have the southeast ridge kind of flexing its muscles like this and pushing northward at the same time. So you have the two kind of colliding in the middle here, and that's why we're going to expect to have some big snows up in here in this area here as we get into early next week, or late weekend and early next week. First things first, going back to the GFS, we have this system sitting up here above the Great Lakes that's going to move down to the east-southeast, and it's going to drag a cold front with it. And that cold front is going to be another reinforcing shot of cold air, just another piece of energy rotating around that polar vortex. And you can see this moving down southeast here. Could get some snow showers, touch-off snow showers, especially across our northern areas here, with that cold front that's attached to this area of low pressure. But I'm not expecting much. But this will be Thursday afternoon and into the early evening hours when you could expect that to happen if it were to happen. And again, just enough lift with that front that you might have a few snow showers touched off with that. And then that system's going to move offshore. High pressure is going to be sitting right on top of us on Friday. Very cold, chilly day. Not a lot of wind on Friday, but at the same time, it's going to be very, very cold. We're talking about temperatures that are going to be about 20 degrees below normal for this time of year as we get into your day on Friday. Now, our next system we're going to be paying attention to is one that is moving in from the southern states here down, basically the southern plain states, and it's going to move over very slowly to the east-northeast. And this system here is going to be sheared apart, we think. This is the one that was Saturday, March 1st, that we were tracking for quite some time. But this one here, it looks like the polar vortex still sitting up here in Hudson Bay is going to crush the energy with this system. So just some light snow showers moving in here for Saturday. And now to the big storm that's behind it. is going to be dependent on where there's going to be a warm front that's associated with the system again down here in the southern plains, and that warm front, where that sets up exactly, is going to determine who gets snow and who gets rain and who gets a mix. And this is the latest GFS that's running right here, and this GFS run here now shows the warm front kind of sitting right about here. So here's your boundary, okay, and the low pressure is sitting right back here. And very elongated, so it doesn't take much, but because it's along this boundary, you're basically having an overrunning event everywhere north of that boundary. So this is all snow, an all snow area up here, because you're north of that boundary. And as we go forward in time here, you see the boundary kind of just sits there, may even retreat back southward as a cold front. But you see it just keeps dumping snow over our central and northern areas, and then a wintry mix down here of primarily sleet. This is not freezing rain for most of our area here until you get down towards Delaware and down to the Baltimore, Washington area. And but this system here just very slow to evolve. The system's still sitting way down here, and this is all overrunning precipitation along that cold front boundary. And GFS looks like it's going to shut off the precipitation, but then it does not, because this low pressure is still sitting right down here, very weak. But this is going to bring in some more snow here. It looks like all the way into Tuesday. So this precipitation actually started on the GFS here Sunday morning, and it is snowing and sleeting for this entire time, straight through Monday. And then we get into Tuesday, and it's pretty much the same thing. So pretty amazing that it's showing that the snowfall for this long. And I'm not sure if that's exactly correct. It's going to be snowing for that long of a duration. It is not impossible for that to happen, for it to snow from Sunday morning to Tuesday evening. But it's going to be depend on a lot of things, and how this where that boundary sets up, and who gets snow north of there, and who gets rain to the south. The snow map for the GFS, and again, this is going to change, but this is giving you an idea of what could happen if where this boundary sets up. It can be some very, very impressive snowfall amounts north of that boundary. So right now the GFS thinks it's going to be right across the heart of our coverage area here, with some ranges here of 12 to 18 inches in some spots here. So this would be some pretty incredible snow, just basically from overrunning, but it would, again, this would be over a period of 2 to 3 days, according to GFS. Not sure if that's correct exactly. The European model did something similar as far as amounts, but it took one big batch of precipitation and moved it northeast across the area, and it pretty much got it out of here and didn't allow it to sit here for days. So there are a lot of different solutions over the next couple of days. This is by no means a final idea of what could happen here. This system could trend warmer and bring the warm front further north, which put these big snows up here instead, or could move further south and bring the bigger snows down here in this area here. I think right now this is kind of like the middle ground of what the GFS is showing here. So there's the potential for snow across our coverage area, and very significant snow, and then also a threat for sleet and freezing rain, and a big concentration of it, especially down here by the Pennsylvania Turnpike and Point South. So, I would be concerned about these areas I'm circled the most for that mixing and maybe change over to sleet or extensive icing. So, again, this is several days away. I have a lot of time to look at it. We're talking about 5 days from now. So, we're actually 4 days for the start of it, and then 4 to 6 day time frame that we're talking from this point, where a lot of things can change. We'll narrow that down as we get a little bit closer. Right now, it is way too early to make any kind of call on this system. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martrich. That is your outlook for February 26, 2014. Have a great Wednesday.